What if I told you that one of the most groundbreaking novels of the 21st century was written from the perspective of a 15-year-old boy who sees the world completely differently than you do? Today, we're diving deep into Mark Haddon's extraordinary masterpiece that changed how literature approaches neurodiversity forever. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to experience the world through completely different eyes? To process emotions, relationships, and daily life in ways that most people never consider? Mark Haddon's revolutionary novel, The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, doesn't just tell us about this experience, it immerses us completely in it, creating one of the most authentic and powerful voices in contemporary literature. This isn't your typical coming-of-age story. Published in 2003, this groundbreaking novel introduces us to Christopher John Francis Boone, a 15-year-old narrator who lives with what appears to be autism spectrum disorder, though the condition is never explicitly named in the book. What makes this novel absolutely fascinating is how Haddon doesn't just write about neurodiversity, he creates an entire narrative structure that mirrors how Christopher's mind works. The story begins with what seems like a simple mystery, a dead dog in a neighbour's garden, but it evolves into something far more complex and emotionally resonant. Through Christopher's investigation, we discover not just the truth about the dog's death, but profound insights about family, truth, communication, and what it means to navigate a world that often feels overwhelming and incomprehensible. What sets this book apart from other novels dealing with similar themes is Haddon's commitment to authenticity. Rather than creating a character who serves as inspiration or tragedy, Christopher is presented as a fully realised person with his own agency, desires, fears, and remarkable capabilities. The novel doesn't ask us to pity Christopher or marvel at his differences. Instead, it invites us to understand his perspective and recognise the validity of his worldview. The book's structure itself is innovative, incorporating mathematical concepts, logical puzzles, and visual elements that reflect Christopher's way of processing information. Maps, diagrams, and mathematical proofs are woven throughout the narrative, creating a reading experience that's both challenging and deeply rewarding. This isn't just stylistic flourish, it's essential to understanding how Christopher makes sense of his environment. Haddon's background in writing for both children and adults serves him well here, as he creates a voice that's simultaneously innocent and sophisticated, literal and profound. The novel works on multiple levels, functioning as both a mystery story and a deeper exploration of human connection, family dysfunction, and the courage required to venture beyond our comfort zones. The impact of this book extends far beyond literature. It has influenced how educators, parents, and society at large think about neurodiversity and autism. Rather than presenting these differences as deficits to be overcome, the novel celebrates alternative ways of thinking and perceiving the world. Christopher's logical approach to problem solving, his attention to detail, and his unwavering commitment to truth become strengths rather than obstacles. The novel also serves as a mirror, reflecting back to neurotypical readers their own assumptions about communication, social interaction, and what constitutes normal behaviour. Through Christopher's eyes, many supposedly normal social conventions appear arbitrary and confusing, forcing us to reconsider why we do things the way we do. What makes this book particularly powerful is its refusal to provide easy answers or neat resolutions. Christopher's journey is messy, difficult, and often painful, but it's also genuine and ultimately triumphant. The novel doesn't suggest that understanding and acceptance come easily, but it does demonstrate that they're possible with patience, effort, and genuine care. The story resonates with readers of all ages and backgrounds because it taps into universal experiences of feeling misunderstood, struggling with change, and searching for truth in a complex world. While Christopher's specific challenges may be unique, his fundamental human needs for security, understanding, and connection are ones we all share. This book challenges us to expand our definition of what it means to be human and to recognise that there are many valid ways of experiencing and interpreting the world around us. It's a story about courage, persistence, and the power of seeing things from a completely different perspective. The story begins when Christopher discovers Wellington, his neighbour Mrs. Shears's poodle, dead in her garden with a garden fork through his body. Despite his father's stern warnings to stay away from other people's business, Christopher decides to investigate this mystery, inspired by his love of detective stories, particularly those featuring Sherlock Holmes. Christopher lives with his father, Ed, in Swindon, England. His mother, Judy, supposedly died of a heart attack 2 years earlier, a loss that deeply affected both Christopher and his father. Christopher attends a special school and has a close relationship with his teacher and mentor, Siobhan, who helps him navigate social situations and understand the world around him. As Christopher begins his investigation, he methodically questions neighbours and records his findings in a book he's writing about the mystery. His approach is logical and systematic, but his social interactions often lead to misunderstandings and conflicts. He struggles with physical contact, loud noises and crowded spaces, but his determination to solve the mystery drives him forward despite these challenges. The investigation takes an unexpected turn when Christopher discovers a collection of letters hidden in his father's room. These letters, addressed to him and written in his mother's handwriting, reveal a shocking truth that his mother is actually alive and living in London with Mr. Shears, Wellington's owner and former neighbour. The letters detail her struggles with Christopher's condition and her decision to leave the family. When Christopher confronts his father about the letters, Ed breaks down and confesses not only to hiding the truth about Judy but also to killing Wellington in a moment of rage. This revelation shatters Christopher's trust in his father and his understanding of his world. Feeling unsafe and betrayed, Christopher decides to leave home and travel to London to find his mother. The journey to London becomes a harrowing adventure for Christopher, who has never travelled alone or been in such crowded, chaotic environments. Using his logical thinking and problem-solving skills, he navigates the complex London transportation system, overcoming panic attacks and sensory overload to reach his destination. Upon finding his mother, Christopher discovers that her life with Mr. Shears is complicated and strained. His arrival creates additional tension in their relationship, but Judy ultimately chooses to return to Swindon with Christopher. The reunion with his mother is not entirely smooth, as they both must adjust to being together again after years apart. The novel concludes with Christopher slowly rebuilding his relationship with his father while living with his mother. He takes his A-level mathematics exam and begins to consider his future, including the possibility of attending university. The story ends with Christopher feeling more confident about his ability to handle challenges and achieve his goals, having proven to himself that he can overcome seemingly impossible obstacles. The discovery of Wellington's body serves as the catalytic event that sets the entire narrative in motion. Christopher's methodical approach to investigating the dog's death reveals his unique way of processing information and solving problems. He creates detailed maps, interviews neighbours with carefully prepared questions, and maintains meticulous records of his findings. This investigation process showcases Christopher's intellectual capabilities while also highlighting the social challenges he faces when interacting with people who don't understand his direct communication style and literal interpretation of language. Christopher's relationship with his father, Ed, represents one of the central emotional threads of the novel. Ed has dedicated his life to caring for Christopher, adapting his lifestyle and career to accommodate his son's needs. However, this relationship is built on a fundamental lie about Christopher's mother's death. Ed's decision to hide the truth stems from his desire to protect Christopher from pain, but it ultimately creates a more devastating betrayal. The complexity of their relationship illustrates how good intentions can lead to harmful outcomes, and how difficult it can be to navigate honesty and protection in family relationships. The revelation of the hidden letters marks the story's major turning point, fundamentally altering Christopher's understanding of his family and his past. These letters, written by his supposedly dead mother, reveal not only that she's alive, but also provide insight into her struggles with parenting a child with special needs. The letters describe her feelings of inadequacy, frustration, and eventual decision to leave, offering a raw and honest portrayal of the challenges faced by families dealing with neurodiversity. This discovery forces Christopher to confront the reality that adults, even those closest to him, are capable of deception, and that his ordered worldview may be more fragile than he believed. Ed's confession about killing Wellington represents the complete collapse of trust between father and son. This moment is particularly devastating for Christopher because his father has always been his primary source of security and understanding. The confession reveals Ed's own emotional struggles and his inability to cope with the stress of his changed life circumstances. For Christopher, who relies heavily on logic and predictability, this betrayal creates a crisis that threatens his fundamental sense of safety and order. Christopher's decision to travel to London alone represents the novel's greatest test of his courage and capability. This journey forces him to confront multiple fears and challenges simultaneously, including crowded spaces, loud noises, unfamiliar environments, and complex social interactions. His successful navigation of London's transportation system, despite experiencing panic attacks and sensory overload, demonstrates his resilience and problem-solving abilities. The journey becomes a powerful metaphor for growth and independence, showing that with determination and logical thinking, seemingly impossible challenges can be overcome. The reunion with his mother, Judy, presents new complications and challenges for Christopher. While he has successfully found her, the relationship must be rebuilt from scratch. Judy's life with Mr. Shears has its own tensions and difficulties, and Christopher's arrival adds additional stress to an already strained situation. The novel realistically portrays how family reunions aren't automatically happy or easy, and how relationships damaged by separation and deception require time and effort to heal. The family's eventual return to Swindon and the slow process of rebuilding relationships forms the novel's resolution. Christopher's decision to take his A-level mathematics exam represents his growing confidence and his ability to plan for the future. His academic success validates his intellectual capabilities and opens possibilities for university education. The gradual improvement in his relationship with his father, while still maintaining healthy boundaries, shows that forgiveness and healing are possible even after serious betrayals. Christopher's personal growth throughout these events is perhaps the most significant aspect of the novel. He evolves from someone who relies heavily on routine and familiar environments to someone who can adapt to new situations and overcome significant challenges. His journey proves to himself and others that his differences don't limit his potential for independence and achievement. The novel's conclusion suggests that Christopher's future is bright and full of possibilities, challenging stereotypes about what people with autism can accomplish. Understanding and accepting neurodiversity requires moving beyond stereotypes and recognizing that different ways of processing the world can be equally valid and valuable. Christopher's perspective offers insights that neurotypical individuals might miss, such as his ability to notice patterns, solve complex problems systematically, and maintain unwavering commitment to truth and logic. The novel demonstrates that neurodiversity isn't a deficit to be corrected, but a different way of experiencing and interpreting the world that can offer unique strengths and perspectives. Effective communication across neurological differences requires patience, clarity, and willingness to adapt our communication styles. Christopher's literal interpretation of language and his difficulty with social cues highlight how much of typical communication relies on unstated assumptions and social conventions. The novel shows that successful communication with neurodiverse individuals often requires being more direct, specific, and consistent in our language and behaviour. Trust and honesty form the foundation of meaningful relationships, and betrayals of trust can have particularly devastating effects on individuals who rely on predictability and routine. Christopher's reaction to discovering his father's deception illustrates how important honesty is for building and maintaining relationships with neurodiverse individuals. The novel suggests that while the truth may sometimes be difficult, deception ultimately causes more harm than protection. Family relationships involving neurodiversity present unique challenges that require understanding, support, and sometimes professional guidance. Judy's letters reveal the emotional toll of caring for a child with special needs, while Ed's actions show how stress and isolation can lead to poor decision-making. The novel presents a realistic portrayal of family dynamics that avoids both romanticising and demonising the experiences of families dealing with neurodiversity. Personal growth and independence are possible for individuals with autism and other neurodiverse conditions, though the path may look different from typical developmental trajectories. Christopher's journey to London and his academic achievements demonstrate that with proper support and accommodation, neurodiverse individuals can achieve significant personal and academic success. The novel challenges assumptions about limitations and capabilities. Problem-solving skills and logical thinking can be powerful tools for overcoming challenges and achieving goals. Christopher's systematic approach to investigating Wellington's death and his methodical navigation of London's transportation system showcase how logical thinking can be applied to solve complex problems. The novel suggests that different cognitive styles can be equally effective for achieving objectives. Support systems and understanding relationships are crucial for helping neurodiverse individuals navigate social and academic environments. Siobhan's role as Christopher's teacher and mentor illustrates how informed, patient support can make a significant difference in helping neurodiverse individuals develop skills and confidence. The novel emphasises the importance of having advocates who understand and accommodate different learning and communication styles. Change and adaptation are possible even for individuals who struggle with transitions and new environments. Christopher's ability to adapt to living with his mother and eventually reconcile with his father shows that while change may be more challenging for some individuals, it's not impossible. The novel suggests that with proper support and gradual introduction to new situations, neurodiverse individuals can successfully navigate life transitions. Academic and intellectual achievement should be recognised and supported regardless of social or communication challenges. Christopher's mathematical abilities and his success on his A-level exam demonstrate that academic potential shouldn't be underestimated based on social or communication differences. The novel advocates for recognising and nurturing the intellectual gifts of neurodiverse individuals. Society benefits from including and accommodating neurodiverse perspectives rather than trying to force conformity to neurotypical standards. Christopher's unique way of seeing the world offers valuable insights and approaches that can benefit everyone. The novel suggests that true inclusion means creating environments where different ways of thinking and processing information are valued and supported, rather than merely tolerated. The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime stands as a transformative work that has fundamentally changed how literature approaches neurodiversity and how readers understand autism spectrum conditions. Mark Haddon's achievement lies not in creating a character who serves as inspiration or tragedy, but in crafting an authentic voice that allows readers to experience the world through genuinely different eyes. This novel's lasting impact extends far beyond the literary world. It has influenced educational approaches, family dynamics, and societal attitudes toward neurodiversity. By presenting Christopher as a fully realised character with his own agency, desires, and remarkable capabilities, Haddon challenges readers to expand their understanding of what it means to be human and to recognise the validity of alternative ways of experiencing the world. The book's exploration of family relationships, trust and communication resonates with readers from all backgrounds because it addresses universal human experiences while highlighting the particular challenges faced by neurodiverse individuals and their families. The novel's honest portrayal of both the difficulties and the strengths associated with autism creates a more nuanced and realistic understanding than many previous literary works. Christopher's journey from the discovery of Wellington's body to his eventual growth and academic success serves as a powerful reminder that with understanding, support and accommodation, individuals with autism can achieve remarkable things. His story challenges stereotypes and limitations while celebrating the unique perspectives and abilities that neurodiverse individuals bring to our world. The novel's innovative structure, incorporating mathematical concepts and visual elements, demonstrates how literature can adapt to reflect different ways of thinking and processing information. This approach creates a more immersive and authentic reading experience while showcasing the beauty and logic of Christopher's worldview. Ultimately, The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime is a celebration of difference, a call for greater understanding and acceptance, and a testament to the power of persistence and logical thinking in overcoming seemingly impossible challenges. It reminds us that there are many valid ways of experiencing and interpreting the world around us, and that society is enriched when we embrace and support these differences rather than trying to eliminate them. This remarkable novel continues to inspire readers, educators, and families to approach neurodiversity with greater empathy, understanding, and appreciation for the unique gifts that different minds bring to our shared human experience.